Whoa, baby boy, look at him.
Hello.
Hey, Davey. Welcome to a Fair One with Tommy Pope and the great Dave Landau. Today we have something interesting planned, and I don't know if it's going to happen. So if not, you're just going to be used to our dumb faces talking about nothing because we haven't experienced anything in 2 months. But we'll figure it the fuck out. Hi, Dave.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, I hope my dream at least comes true in the next hour. But if it doesn't, I'm so used to shattered dreams.
Yeah, hell yeah. We
It's
can go
nothing
through
new.
my Wikipedia or my elaborate IMDb if we can't talk about his 600 fucking films.
Yes.
Mr. Eric Roberts. I don't know if he's coming in. Dave, I'm sorry, Drew will let us know if he's going to pop in. But if not, we
500.
could go through his catalog with you. Yeah, I know you're a fucking movie maniac.
I'm a huge fan of him, and I want to confirm something with him to see if it's true. There's a couple things, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk to him. And if not, we'll just bring it up at the end of the episode, and we'll pretend Tommy's Eric, and we'll do that interview.
I am like I'm like the mini Russian nesting egg. I could be like his younger self back in the fucking late 80s.
Oh, you absolutely. You could be Pope of Greenwich Village, Eric Roberts.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
look at you. Look at
It's
you.
true.
Already coming out hot, dude. Yo, I am so jealous of you and Anthony's Mystery Science Theater 3000 setup you guys have for the new movie gigs.
It's so fun, and people have now subscribed for it, which is really cool. And I don't know. It's always interesting to have something that you wanted to do your whole life happen
Yeah.
in any form. I've always loved movies, and I've just talked to my friends about movies, and I've been, probably to an annoying level, a fan of film. Made my own movie, and then now I sit here and I rip apart ones that are either pieces of shit or
Yeah.
really good pieces of shit.
So do you guys watch classics as well, or just you try to find shit that you can talk through and shit on?
Mainly, we've only done 3 so far. We've done Twister.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Oh, that's a real hunk of shit. Then there's Roadhouse,
Nice.
which who doesn't love Roadhouse?
Right.
There's really no story to Roadhouse or any reason for the bad guy. That's what I love, is it's just a guy who has a monster truck and
It's
runs.
just made by a bunch of 13-year-olds.
It is written by.
What adulthood is.
I feel like it's written by bouncers that have head injuries. And the most interesting one that we just did was Over the Top, which is essentially
Stallone.
just an arm wrestling movie. There's no better scene than the kid not being able to say goodbye to his mother because she died before they could get there due to him stopping to arm wrestle. Had he not made his son arm wrestle in an arcade, he could have said bye to his mom. And the kid's his name is Lincoln Hawk, and his son's name is Mike. And somebody showed me what I missed during this, and it was the kid's name in this very pedo-erotic film is Mike Hawk.
What do you guys got on deck? What are you watching next?
I can't say, but I'm going to tell you.
Surprise every time.
I will tell you off screen, but we got a
Yeah, yeah.
surprise every time we tell them that moment. But this time, I think we're going to do a fan favorite, a movie people have been requesting. Can we get a little volume out here? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
No, you're not rude. Get the fucking bullwhip on him.
He's a good man. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. But how have you been? Look at you got plants.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. I told you this before. It's just a facade. It's just to hide the pain. Like if I can visually pretend that thing's okay, around me. This is just my little den. It's like a little Florida room. Florida room is the most white trash thing you could say. That's how you know you grew up trash. When you use the word Florida room. Florida room is just an area that plants can see windows, right? I mean, and a ceiling fan indoors maybe with a rug.
I think
don't know what
so.
Florida room is.
I do call it a Florida room. So as far as I know, it's the,
Right, exactly.
It's
You're a Detroit trash bag.
yeah, it's a glassed porch, right?
Yeah, it's a glassed porch with a
Yeah.
rug. I think you have to have a rug and a ceiling fan and one of 2 parents. Both parents can't be in the house and raising you.
Yeah, oh, do we have our guest?
Yeah, you guys, I'm so sorry. I had it down as 11 because we've
Oh,
done
you're
so
good.
much 11. So here's Eric.
Oh, awesome.
Big E.
My wife, rarely messes up. I humbly apologize.
Never.
We're blaming it on you, not her.
You did.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
How
how
are
you
you?
doing? I'm Dave. This is Tommy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, dude.
We were just enamored by your list of films. I had no idea. I know you're a legend, but I had no idea you were in almost 600 films. That's ridiculous, and I'm extremely jealous.
Quantity means nothing. It just means time to work.
Yeah, that's great, dude. That's great. How are you doing now? I mean, obviously you're not working in the moment, or are you writing, or what are you doing at home?
Well, lots of cameos, actually. You know what a cameo is?
Yeah. When they pay you to say stuff.
Yeah, they're coming in, and I'm doing lots of anniversary good wishes, birthday good wishes, divorce good wishes, blah blah blah, and it's a lot of fun, and it's something I can do at home.
What's the common cost for something like that? Like $100, $200? What I got to pay you to tell my girlfriend to put the seat back up after she goes to the bathroom?
Everybody varies, and you're up to $75.
And I'm up to $75.
Woo!
Mike tells me.
But we can do you guys a favor. Do you want me to brush his hair or anything?
No, his hair's great. His hair. I'm actually upset that this is the first time since Dave and I have been doing this for the last 2 years that someone has better hair than me, and I'm a little
Yes.
upset about it.
And I had
So
to
I'm going to
shave
pay you a
mine
cameo. Yeah, Dave.
because I tried to give myself a quarantine haircut and I ruined my hair. So no, his hair is perfect.
Valiant effort, though. Look, he did a great job, right, Eric?
Dynamite.
Well, and Eric,
you cut
you're
it
in
at home yourself, or your wife did it?
No. Oh, you mean him?
Oh,
Yeah.
me?
No.
Oh no, I wouldn't let the wife touch my hair. No. It's a barber that my wife got me. Yeah.
But not since before quarantine, though.
Oh, no. I haven't had a haircut in 2 months, 3 months. Yeah.
It's rocking though.
Yeah, dude, you're killing it.
I had an executive cut, and now it's like 1983 now.
That was a good year.
Yeah, that's a good year. I loved 83. I love the 80s period.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
man.
made amazing films in the 80s. Absolutely. Pope of Greenwich Village being one of my favorites, of course.
Thank you so much. I love that movie.
It's so good. It is just a classic, and I absolutely love it. And I was curious, this week you're in the news a bit about the Joker because you weren't as big as a fan of Joaquin, I saw.
What?
Is this not
Yeah.
true?
No, you said
That's a misquote.
you said Joaquin did a good job, but you weren't crazy about the movie.
Joaquin was incredible.
Yeah, see, people,
I mean,
the news is
perfect.
so bad.
What
Sorry.
I said was I didn't like the movie. I loved his performance.
Oh, right on.
Loved his performance. His performance, we should all learn from that performance. That performance was miraculous. No. That's such a shame.
Yeah.
Such a shame. Help me fix that because it's not what I said. In fact, my wife is right here and she's always right there. And she knows. She would say, but you said that. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I would never say that. It was a perfect performance. No, but the actual movie was trying. I felt tried after the movie.
Yeah, it was kind of frightening. I mean, I remember my girlfriend, she was really skitzed out going in there because of the energy that movie brought, and people were fearful of past circumstances and I don't want to bring up all these tragedies, but she kept staring at this one guy that brought in a backpack the entire time. She would look back at him, and then it made me nervous. So that added an element of nerves watching that whole film that it actually made it a little better for me.
Well, after the first big shooting where I don't remember where it was where 14 people were.
Yeah, Dark Knight.
I don't go to movies anymore. I don't.
Yeah, it's frightening.
And also, I'm a little bit recognizable, so it just makes it worse. So.
Yeah. Well, and you were in Dark Knight, which is interesting though with the Joker, where you had scenes with probably one of the best performances ever, I would say. So it's got to be hard to compare the Joaquin and Heath performance.
I don't see them as the same character at all. So they don't compare. They're just called the same thing. They're not the same character, and they have on makeup, blah blah, but they're not the same character.
Can I geek out real quick and ask you about Heath on set? Like, did you just tell me any experience that you might be able to share with us with him?
I've been told that Heath was so into character, he's unapproachable. Okay, cool. I show up on the set. He's wonderful, relaxed, cool, easy, very approachable, very sweet. Also very focused because that day, the first day he and I worked together, he had a 3-page monologue. It's all the bad guys all around that big table, and he's got that big monologue, and he does the pencil trick, blah blah blah, and so we have a blocking rehearsal. We're all very stiff. We just do blah 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 blah, and then we have a run through, and he went through the whole 3 pages perfectly, and he stops and he goes, "How am I doing?" And we all cracked up. Great. He was just lovely, and he was normal, and he was sweet, and I had also been told that he possibly OD'd on drugs or blah, blah, blah. What happened to him is the same thing that happened to Anna Nicole Smith and her son. They were on psychotropics like a Prozac or Abuse Bar or whatever. And then on top of that, they take a sleeping pill and just slows it down too much and it kills you. But they obviously weren't warned, you know?
Wow.
They all made the same mistake.
No, and I don't even think it was even though it was only 2008, it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't as prevalent. You know, it wasn't as known as it is now, even with, you know, and I'm somebody who's dealt with addiction, I know you're a recovering addict, correct? Yeah, and I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict as well, so I get it. You know, so yeah, it didn't seem like he died of something that I probably should have died of, because when I was doing it, I certainly would have earned my stripes, you know?
Yeah. No, I never got real close to him, but I would have wanted to. He was a great person.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
He's a great actor, dude. I love great actors. You can be a bump on a log. If you're a great actor, I will love you, because acting's hard, dude. Good acting is hard.
Well, you've worked with the best. I mean, you've done several movies with Dennis Hopper.
Oh, yeah. Dennis and I were good buddies.
Yeah. I was going to say, how intense is he on a set? Because just watching him, even when I was a kid, I went and saw the movie Speed, which is not a movie that should terrify you, but he still scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Let me tell you a quick Dennis story. He says to me, "So I hear you're making a Western." I say, "It was a horrible Western. I do not recommend it. I won't even say the title of it. It's a bad movie." But I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I want to be in it." I said, "There's not a role for you." He goes, "We'll make one up." So I kind of did. And then he ends up, co-starring really in the movie with me. And then at the end of the first day, he goes, "You know what? I think I want to play the guy Irish." I said, "We shot a whole day and he's English." I know, but I can undo it. He was wonderful. If you're an open person and a real actor, he was a gold mine. He was insane, but it was positive insane. I loved him. And we all forget, he was an Academy Award winning director, dude. And that movie, Easy Rider, is directed beautifully. Oh my God, it's cut so well. It's such a good movie.
And it blackballed him from the industry a little bit too for a while. I said it blackballed him from the industry for a little while too, because it was outside of the box and out there.
Well, you can't take drugs and go to work and be everybody's friend. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Who's the biggest maniac that you worked with?
I'd hate to have to name that. Let me see. I who's a maniac.
Set it up like that. I know like some of the best actors are always they're a little loosey goosey up top. So I can see you having a lot of stories you can't talk about.
The most extreme experience I ever had, I was a rookie. It was my first movie, and I had already been shooting for almost a month. And then I had my first night shoot of my life, and it's my first night I'll be working with Sterling Hayden. And so I was excited because I'm a big fan. And I got a knock on my door to go talk to him. Oh, cool. All right. I go to his trailer, knock on the door. "Come on in." I walk in, hashish smoke. I go, "Wow." He goes, "Hey, how you doing? Have a seat, young man. Do you get high?" I said, "I've been known to, but not when I work." He goes, "Well, I do. So what's this scene about tonight?" I know. What scene are we shooting tonight? I said, "Scene 87. I know the number. What happens?" So that was the most insane experience I ever had. He was miraculous, though. Once he understood what we were shooting, he was miraculous.
Yeah, it's incredible from an acting standpoint that you just have to give some guys direction. You just say, "This is the message. This is where we want to end up. We're starting here. We're ending here. Just go." And like giving freedom to legends like yourself. I mean, I only have small experience on sets. But I would love to see, some maniacs work like that in live, It's really impressive.
Well, I've been really lucky. I've had some formidable directors. Frank Pearson, he was my first guy. Frank Pearson, Bob Fosse, a
Yeah,
lot of
Bob,
great.
you did Bob Fosse's last movie, Star 80.
Um, Jonathan Kaplan.
Jonathan Kaplan, one of my favorites. Dude, what a director! When you get to work with these guys who know what they're doing and why, it's a whole other world. Because most directors are like most actors. They want the result. They don't understand the journey. The journey's where it's at, dude. It's a seduction. That's where it's at.
That's so cool. Yeah, because you've worked with so many great directors, including P.T. Anderson, people that are even more, modern famous, I guess you could say. So you've worked with you've ran the gamut of them. Is there anybody who you did admire the most? I mean, not to discredit anybody else, but just somebody who you really were impressed by their ability to work with actors.
Yeah, there's one guy head and shoulders above the rest of the world, and his name was Bob Fosse. And he was the most incredible artist, genius I've ever been around. And it's an overused word, that's a genius word, especially in show business. But he was a genius. And once you work with a real genius, two things happen. You know you're not one, and you also know they are so unusual. They're like white lions. They do exist, but you have to find them. And once you do, oh my God, you never get over it because they're a whole different species.
And Star 80 is a great film, and I believe you were nominated or won a Golden Globe for that. Not,
I was nominated for the Golden Globe, but not an Oscar, and I didn't win again.
which is not right. Well,
Being nominated.
go ahead, Tommy.
No, I just said being nominated is a win. I mean, for the lay person, from our
No,
perspective.
it is a win up until the award gets given out.
Yes. Yeah, you feel really good till that last second. At least you're there. But oh yeah, this is you right in it. Here you go.
He was a cool cat to know.
That's very cool. Another one of my favorite movies. I shouldn't say believe it or not. I didn't mean that. But is actually Best of the Best 2. It's one of my favorite movies to watch.
Best two?
2, the second.
Oh, I don't hear that often. I hear Best one all the time because that is a great movie.
It is.
But Best two is a little violent for most people. It's a rough, tough boys movie.
That's what I like about it is it has a little bit of that 80s canon camp to it, and that's just the kind of movie that I enjoy. So even though it is over the top, where Best of the Best is obviously as grounded as it can be for a karate movie. But what was it like to work with Chris Penn? Because I'm a huge fan of him, and a lot of people don't really know him outside of independent film, it seems. Everybody knows his brother, or him from Footloose, but they don't realize what a talent he was.
Chris Penn and I were very close. I loved Chris like family, and he was like family. My wife and he were close. He and I were close. Chris was one of the funniest, most entertaining friends you'd ever have, and he had issues with addiction. Joined the club,
Yeah.
but he was an incredible human, and he's a big loss. And he died by accident. It wasn't on purpose. It was a mistake, and we all miss him every day because he would have done so much more, and he would have come around. He'd have been fine. He just had to grow up, and like most of us artists, we tend to grow up late. It's unfortunate.
Well, and I think when you're thrown into the light at that young age, I mean, both of you kind of were. You were in your early 20s, right, when you had your first film role?
I became a movie star at 21 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So and especially at a time where it was much more, I'd say, hedonistic, at least Hollywood, drugs, partying. How are you not wrapped up in all of that?
1978, and it was great. It was like capturing the brass ring, because suddenly all the scripts came, all the offers came, all the respect came, and respect goes to your head. People, when you're doing an outside scene and suddenly a crowd is gathered of 300 people to see you, oh, it's so cool. You can't believe it's happening to you, and it goes to your head in two ways. It makes you believe you're special, and it also makes you believe you're not enough. So it's an AZ kind of a feeling. And once you get over the impact of fame, it's a wonderful place to be, because everything good is magnified by 3. Everything good you do is magnified by 3, but everything bad you do is magnified by 12. So you just got to make do and be sweet.
Yeah.
Hey, can we do this every day? Because you're making me feel good for the first time in months. You're like my therapist now. You have this energy that I need in my life. I'm a little too edgy all the time, and you're very calming.
Yeah, you're very zen, which I like.
I feel like I owe you. This is like a cameo times 12 for all the bad things I've done.
Well, good for me. And not to be too much wifey whipped, but let me point some out to you. I was a very quiet, unapproachable, very busy artiste up till my wife says, people don't like you. And I said, because the characters I play probably. She goes, no, because you don't talk to anybody. You're a complete asshole. I said, excuse me? She goes, that's how it comes across. I know you. You're just shy. You're just busy doing something else and you can't be bothered. You're just that kind of guy. I know that, but they don't. They think you're an asshole. And Eric, it comes across that way, buddy. You got to change your shit. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, so she kind of remolded me in the fact that life is fun, and you can share the fun. You can make everybody happy when you're happy, and she taught me how to do that, dude. So you can thank her.
Did you find that too with her doing that for you, and that helped a lot in sobriety? Because obviously you were kind of, I'm sure, getting the amount of attention, which is going to be adoration, and then it's also going to be slamming you when somebody could, like you said, you do something wrong, they multiply it by 12 because it makes good news. So I assume you were doing drugs to kind of numb that. And now do you feel that you're finally feeling everything?
Well, that's very noble of you and very kind that I was doing that to numb that. No, I'm much more shallow. I've been a drug addict since I was 13. I mean, I just escaped and tried not to come back. But my wife reeled me in and said, "You're coming back, dude, because you're worth it." And so she, I overtalk my wife because I'm so thankful, and it's not a passing fad. It's been 28 years. We've been kissing for almost 30.
Which is 300 in Hollywood years.
Yeah, exactly.
That is impressive, man. I've always heard you're really this nice guy, and you do a lot of movies with independent filmmakers, and I'm wondering why. Not that you could say no to it, but you seem to give a lot of people a chance. And I was wondering, you gave my friend John Anton a chance. I don't know if you remember. It's a movie called Guns, Drugs, and Dirty Money, and you read a child a story in it. And he said you made time for him at the only day you could, which I think was like Christmas. And you came and did it. And he asked what you wanted to pay, and you just said, "Oh, you can just buy me an omelet." Is that true? You just didn't care?
It's a true story. And see, my wife taught me this. She says, these every movie, no matter what the budget or what the schedule, is somebody's infant. It's somebody's baby. It matters to them as their life's blood. It is everything. So you have to take it seriously, and you have to be respectful to it. And if I can give a day for a young guy who will grow up to possibly be Steven Spielberg, he may not be, but he could be. He wants to be. And he has one day. I can give him that one day. I can be in his movie and help him. Why wouldn't I do that? And also, if I asked an actor to come help me, why wouldn't he if he understands, if we're in the same boat? He understands. And that's where show business is a wonderful world, because it's very communal, and we know what each other's going through because it's the same process for everybody. And when you're lucky enough to become recognizable, people give you more than you deserve, and they also badmouth you more than you deserve. But you learn to roll with it, dude. and it's fun. It's the best job on the planet, dude. I have the best job there is, and it's not just to talk it up. It's a fact. I have the best job on the planet, dude. I see the world for free. I have people, dressing me, putting makeup on me, writing for me, telling me where to stay and what to do, blah, blah, blah. I'd have to be a moron to not love every minute of my life.
God, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, and I'm a comic, so by trade, and I've been a comedian for 15 years, I have this natural cynicism that I'm trying to get over. And now that I'm a father, I know you're a father, and it's definitely helped me and helped me kind of get off edge because, like Tommy said, you're on edge. It's very hard to not look at the world through a critical eye when you're trying to make people laugh. It's just a difficult thing.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I've asked about 10, 12 people this. 2 of them have said yes, and I believe them, but it didn't happen. And it's this. I'm always asked to come talk to the troops, but I won't go talk to the troops unless I have 5 minutes of comedy, because I'm not going, hey guys, I'm famous, how are you? I'm not doing that. I'm going to go make them laugh for a minute. But I'm not funny, and I don't write funny. I'm not a comic. I'm an Eric. So would you write me 5 minutes of comedy on this subject? Why comics become comics? Because they're misfits, fat, short, goofy, whatever they are.
All compliments.
And they compensate by being funny.
Yes.
Only make that funny for 5 minutes so I can take it to the troops. Will you do that for me?
$10,000. That's my cameo.
My wife says no.
Or give me that couch in the back, the one with the flowers on.
Yeah, we could certainly tag team and do it though. I think it's just probably 2 different reasons. Because I already make depression funny in my act, so that's pretty much what it is.
I also love
it's a feeling of inadequacy, and I always wanted to be an actor when I started. I started at Second City, and Tommy had his own show on Comedy Central, so he's an actor as well. So I've always loved and admired actors, and I've always loved film. I've always loved movies, and the comedy definitely started coming. I almost fell into it on accident because I was already doing Second City and doing these shows that I was good at writing. So I tried an open mic, and now I'm a comedian. I just went that way. It felt more comfortable for me because I kind of suck at acting. I wish I didn't, but it's just not. I'm not great at it.
Most actors aren't.
That's true. It's probably why they shoot on digital now. You can a lot of cuts.
You're cheaper. Yeah.
What is your favorite movie you think that you've made, if you had to pick one that you consider your sort of holy grail?
I can't pick one, but I can pick half a dozen. I can pick 10%. I can pick 1% of them. I can pick King of the Gypsies, Pope Greenwich Village, Star 80, Runaway Train, It's My Party, Love is a Gun, Purgatory, me and Sam Shepard.
It's a great movie.
I picked those 7 as my favorites, and they're all very different from each other. That's why I don't have one favorite, because I played such extreme. I played like a Paul Simon was a real guy. That was a biography. And Paulie Giavone from Pope was supposed to be a big, tough, big, thug, stupid guy. And I made him a mama's boy. So they're like favorites for different reasons.
I think I quoted you that famous line in Runaway Train when my Amazon delivery guy came a couple of days ago, when you're like, hey man, take me with you.
Yeah.
How's John Voight? I love that man.
John Voight is fantastic. But I don't know if I should say this. It depends on your politics. He's very right wing. So if you're not right wing, don't talk politics with him. But as an actor on a set to work with, he is magnificent. He is a great actor to his bone marrow, and he completely commits. And man, he and I stayed in character for 2 months, and we pushed and we drove each other, and we had one of my 3 or 4 best experiences with another actor in my life was working with John Voight, but we never talked politics.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites, and I think a lot of times politics just it spoils the fun. We talk enough about things, not on this show, but on other shows that I do, and I'm sort of in the middle. I don't care. So it doesn't bother me what people think, and I don't hold that against people. So I just love the man's work. I mean, Deliverance is one of the hardest to watch movies ever, but because it's so intense.
Coming Home. Oh my
Is
God,
amazing.
what a performance! I mean, they gave him an Oscar, but the people forget that performance. That performance is magnificent, dude. Oh my God!
But even when he pops up in like National Treasure, he then takes the movie to another level. And I hadn't even watched that till I had a kid, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. That's how good he is in this, and he's a lot older in it, and he's still he steals every scene, and that's
Also something I wanna point out to you guys that people don't know and or remember if they didn't know. In Runaway Train, he weighed what I weigh now, and he's 6'2". I'm 5'10", and he was skinny, but he wore a full bodysuit. That's not him. That's a bodysuit, dude.
Wow.
He was a skinny guy, but he's got his body. He looks enormous. He's not enormous.
his Fu Manchu adds weight.
I
It makes his
know.
face look. Yeah. Well, you were nominated for an Oscar for that, weren't you?
I loved it.
Yeah, you were nominated for that for an Oscar, right?
Yeah, who knew? Yeah.
How old were you in that film?
What?
How old were you in that film?
I was, let's see, that was 1980, so I'd have been 28.
P.T. Anderson is one of those sort of, I would say, avant-garde yet somehow mainstream directors. Boogie Nights is one of my favorite movies, and you were in Inherent Vice. How is it to work with him, and do you have any idea what he's doing before you see the final the final piece?
He's like a 14-year-old totally devoted filmmaker who is making a whole movie on Super 8, and it's everything to him. That's Paul Thomas. He is completely devoted. He's hands-on with everything, and he directs this close. He's this close, and he's talking to you this close when he's talking. He's right there, and he's making sure you understand everything. And it's like, okay, cool. And I feel I enjoyed that performance. I enjoyed that movie, and
Lost his head.
but I feel that I let him down in the end result because I could not get a tear to fall in that last scene where I kind of break down. I didn't get a tear to fall, and I should have. And I couldn't get it out that morning, and so I was disappointed in myself. But what a cool movie, huh? It's a fun movie to watch. And
I thought you were great.
God, watching.
I actually have a question on that because some actors can just cry whenever they want. How do you turn that on? And is it like a pressure system where you can, even if you feel an emotion, I know they tell you to go back to something and get in the moment of something that you feel really sad about. But if you're not one that can force a tear,
yeah,
is it a physical act that you can then turn on even if you're sad, so to speak?
Emotional recall takes time, but it does work. What I use and works for me great are just like a flashcards of memories. I will see a face, and I'll see a face at a moment that was moving, either joy and or sadness and or whatever it was moving. And I'll see the face as a flashcard, and it will push me to tears, and I'll cry. But that's what I do. It works 85% of the time, but 50% of the time it's like, nope, not today. Nope, not today. And you're like, damn. But I'm upset, but I can't cry.
Yeah, right when you need it, the gun's empty.
There you go. But it only happens rarely, but it does happen, and it happened that day on that set when I wanted that to happen. It didn't come, and I wanted to give that to him. Anyway, he's a great guy to work for. He's a cool cat, and he's also one of those guys. He's very close and very intense, but he's very normal. He's very loving. He's very sweet. He's very normal. He and Heath both were sweet, normal guys. Are sweet, normal guys.
That's really cool. Are you a method actor then, or do you consider yourself full method?
I use it all.
Okay.
Whatever it takes, I will use it. And but method is such an overused and abused terminology now, and has been for 30 years. But it works. It works. It works great. But my wife and I have something in common. We both enjoy Meisner. And what I found, because I do a lot of stuff very fast, what I found this little Meisner trick, it works so great. It's called repetition. And what you do is say anything to me, ask me a question, whatever. Say anything. Go ahead. I'll show what the repetition is.
What's your favorite style of hat?
My favorite style of hat? Derby, dude. You repeat, repetition. What they ask, you repeat, so the answer comes out perfectly honest.
That's actually what you do when dealing with a heckler. You repeat what they said so the whole audience can hear, and then you attack them.
It's also what
Fear
you
is
do.
heckling. Heckling is fear. There you go.
Right, yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, that makes sense. And I went to college for acting for just a brief period, but yeah, I did study a little bit of Meisner. Yeah, it's really cool. What got you into acting? I mean, you're from Mississippi originally, right?
No, I spent my first 3 days in Mississippi, but I'm
Okay.
in New Orleans and Atlanta. And I got into acting because as a tiny little kid, I had the worst stutter you can imagine. I couldn't talk to people. And in grammar school, when you read out loud in class, everybody laughed at me. I was horrible. But I found out when I memorized stuff, I could talk. Because if I knew what I was going to say, I could say it. And so, acting, dude, that's what started it. And then it started to be fun. Then I got good at it. Then I realized, hey, I can do this. And I chased it.
Wow, that's really cool. Were
I used
you? Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
I use the Meisner effect when I'm lying. Typically, I repeat, when she's like, "Where were you last night?" I'm like, "Where was I last night?"
Yeah. That's how you know a guy's lying is when he repeats the question to the woman. That's why I'm always careful not to do that.
Every single time I watch it in the film, I'm like, "That guy's lying. He's lying."
Yeah, he just repeated what you said. He just bought time.
You heard what she asked, you pig. No, that's really interesting. So, what's the state of the industry, if I might ask? I want your opinion, because obviously there's been such a dramatic change. Dave and I have spoken at length on this show about the change in television, due to culture and the impact of such a woke. I don't know how to succinctly say this to you, but where do you see the industry going in the next 5 to 10 years, as opposed to the last 10 years? And what are your thoughts on the current state of both movies and television?
That is so many questions.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I stopped listening.
To answer those questions, and I'm not a soothsayer. So let me start with the past. Movies have changed from A to M. It's not completely different, but you will still have a camera and an actor and a director and a cameraman. But it's very different, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very casual now, to the point where it's like, come on, guys, let's take this seriously. We're making a movie. And like, oh yeah, right, okay. What's going on? But that's kind of how it feels now, because film was hard and expensive and a specialty. You had a special camera, you had special technique, you had special operators, had special focus pulls, you had to do certain things, you had to deal with it, had to light it a certain way, blah, blah, blah. It was intricate.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, throw that thing in the camera and turn it on. They don't even light. They light nobody. Even the big, beautiful movie star girls don't get lit. Nobody gets lit. If you're over 35, you'll look it. It's the way it goes now.
Yeah.
So that's how what happened. And there aren't really technicians on the set anymore. There are kids who have part-time jobs. That's what we're doing. And everything is going so fast that the goal and the accomplishment is to get it done. Not to get it done well, like, wow, we blew it out of the water. Not that. Wow, we did it. Yeah, but you're supposed to have that attitude back in school. The other attitude is to create art, which is not doing it, it's doing it well. Right. And that's been lost. And
Yeah.
I mean, you just turn your TV. It's not an opinion; it's a fact.
No, it's interesting you said that. Did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Sure,
Yeah.
love that movie.
Oh, it's
Love
so
it.
good.
Wonderful.
Right, and there's this scene where Leonardo DiCaprio flubs a line and stutters and is completely embarrassed, goes back to his trailer and just starts, just destroying it because he's just ashamed of himself for how he acted on the set. And do you feel that there's that kind of passion left that there once was, just on the fact that we don't even use film anymore, and it's so easy to correct something? Do you think that maybe there's a lack of passion?
Well, this is only an opinion, okay? But because of all those shows like Island Voice and blah blah blah, everybody thinks, everybody just sees the result, and everybody wants the result. But like I said earlier, it's the journey that is the education. It is the journey that is the fun. It is the journey that is the prize. And every once in a while, on top of that great life you have, they say, and the winner is not you, but almost, whatever it is.
Right.
And it's just, I don't work for a living, dude.
Yeah,
No, I
that's
get
what I
that.
was asking, because it is apparent to most people how diluted the industry has become, especially the end product. Not just the access to the technology, but people wanting to go to school for film and going through the process and thinking it's just a job as opposed to the art of it, and finding the people that can make a product really great. Now it's just so diluted.
Patrick starred in that didn't get released.
The Civilization of Maxwell Bright.
There is a great movie called The Civilization of Maxwell Bright. It stars Patrick. What's Patrick? Patrick Warburton. The guy who does the
I love him.
the rental ads.
I still
That
see
guy,
8-Ball Jacket.
Miraculous actor. That guy is an incredible actor.
Yeah, I
And-
love him.
Dramatic actor.
Oh, you're dramatic actor. Everybody knows he's funny, but he's a real dramatic. I mean, he's a tour de force. Dude, this guy's incredible. And he's in this movie that I made with him, I don't know, several years ago. And I play a real wimp, by the way. I play a real weakling. And to his, and he is unbelievable. And it almost got released this year, but something happened to it. It needs to be released. It's good, but it's film, and nobody cares about quality. And Patrick's not, there he is, Patrick Warburton. There I am. What is that's from that movie? How'd that come up so fast? How'd you guys do that?
Oh, we got a great tech in the booth named Drew.
Wow, show off. That was good.
He can hack into anything.
Oh, man. No, but that guy, I can't talk enough about him. I'm one of my 3 biggest fans. I think I'm a really good actor. I have a great time saying that. But Patrick, oh my God, he blows me out of the water. He's fantastic.
I wouldn't have guessed because he just makes me cry laughing when I watch Family Guy.
Right?
Sorry, Tommy, what were you saying?
No, I want to know what's holding the movie back. Besides, is it money because it is film? Does it cost a lot more money?
Or is it COVID? This thing?
I don't know, but I think probably everything has a root in finances. Sure.
Yeah. What do you have a project on the books right now that you're waiting to film because of COVID?
About 150 of them, but the one that's up front first is "Stalked by My Doctor" Part 5, and
That's a Lifetime one, right?
what?
Is that like a Lifetime one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was offered it 5 years ago, and I said, I love the script, but can we change the title? "Stop by My Doctor" is so sleazy, crappy. And they said, nope, we're doing that. You're "Stop by My Doctor." So, "Stop by My Doctor" 5. They're very popular all over the world. I'm in airports every day, and all over the world. Oh, the doctor. They love the doctor, dude, and he's an hole.
It's odd that there's 5 times he stalked somebody and no one's doing anything about this.
The 90s. Weren't they great?
Oh, yeah. Is this the new one? Can you see the picture? Oh, this is 4. Okay.
Your first patient, Michelle, is already.
Yeah, I knew it was on Lifetime. My wife is obviously a fan.
Well, women all over the world watch that station.
Oh, of course.
They love. I'm in China, and the doctor. They love the doctor in China.
That's so cool. That is absolutely. So, do you have anything to promote that you're doing right now, or anything else like in the works that you want to share?
The kids. Keaton Simons at keatonsimons.com, or you go to ericrobertsactor.com. There's a link to him. He's the best singer-songwriter out there right now, and he can play the guitar like nobody I know about currently. He's incredible. Keaton Simons, Keaton as in Buster.
Check out Chris Cornell on Sirius.
Yeah, right. Check out Chris Cornell.
Oh, I love Chris Cornell. Yeah.
And compares.
And I did Chris's video of his last song, and that's where we all met. And Chris and Keaton got very close.
Are you going to talk about the Phoenix?
Okay. So, have you guys heard about the Phoenix?
We have not.
You haven't heard about the Phoenix? Okay, I got to bring this because this is very sketchy. Everybody goes, "Oh my God, don't do that!" Eric." But this a friend of mine is an inventor, and he came up with a device that he calls the Phoenix, and it's a device that cures ED, and it's not a drug. It's not invasive. It's the same technique they always use for decades in these sexual clinics, where they found out what causes ED, erectile dysfunction, is plaque, the same thing that clogs up the heart, clogs up the appendage. We have it in our bloodstream.
I thought it was Coke.
Yeah.
And you find out that your heart and your appendage have the same needs, healthy blood flow, or they don't work great. So when you find this out, okay, how do you get rid of the plaque? Well, he came up with a device that breaks up the plaque and all the blood vessels in your appendage, and you have blood flow again, and it works.
Get to the goods. Tell me where the appendage go. Where does it go? Does it go in the pecker, in the butt?
No, it doesn't go in it. It goes on it.
Because I'm picturing a giant bird with claws.
So ugly. No. It's a shape like my hand, like this, with a flat top, and you go up and down your shaft with it, and it gets rid of the plaque. And the plaque is a real thing. It's a real scientific understanding of what actually causes ED.
It's like an ultrasound wand, and it uses sound waves.
There you go. My wife put an ultrasound wand.
So you don't do it like Deering, or right before? It's like something you do.
No, it's a maintenance thing.
Okay. That's what I'm asking. You don't want to say, "Hang on, hon, I gotta brush."
No. And you go to scorchedbird.com, hence the Phoenix.
Gotcha.
Scorchedbird.com. And what's cool about this, for me to talk about it, because it's a friend of mine who's the inventor, is the fact that come on, everybody's so embarrassed to talk about this, but it's not an embarrassment if you understand it's plaque. We don't have any issues talking, I have a heart issue, I have to go for a bypass. We don't have any issues about that. Well, the same difference, only it's not invasive. And it's just, let's take out the shame, let's relax, and keep our sex life as long as we can.
Hell yeah. Scorchedbird.com. Eric.
Oh, we got it right here. Yeah, right. We right pulled up. Go to scorchedbird.com and get the Phoenix.
Home use acoustic wave device. No, I don't think it's. Oh, that's it. Good catch. Who's in the booth?
That's Drew. He's on top of it.
Yeah.
Drew, say hello.
Well done. Have you got a camera on you? And hey, dude.
There he is.
It's great to almost meet you.
We feed him once in a while. He's been in there for 2 months straight.
Yeah.
And he looks happy.
Yeah, he is happy today, I think.
Today's a good day.
Today's a good day.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for taking your time. You're a lovely man, and your wife is also a lovely woman. So thank you so much for dealing with our bullshit and answering our fandom questions.
This is a great thing you're doing during
I'm
COVID.
sorry for being late. Did it screw everything up?
No, not at all.
I was just happy you called in. I wanted to talk to you for 25 years, so this is very cool. So thank you so much.
With them, you can. I'll share them.
Oh,
Over there, Eric. Where are you? Are you guys in LA?
We'll check back in soon. Let us know how everything's going. And thanks so much for your time.
Thank you both.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, turned into 4s. Did Tommy leave? Tommy, did you hang up? Is it just me? Tommy
I
left?
think Tommy left. Yeah,
Is Eric still there?
Eric is gone. And we all.
And now we have to do an out?
We don't.
All right, well, you heard it here first. Not only can Julia Roberts give you a boner, but Eric can too.